Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast, all the stuff we didn't get to during the course of the show today. I had just read an email. If you've listened to the regular podcast, you would have heard the last break of it. And we're talking about a lady who sent me an email saying, I forgive you. And I have no idea for what. And we're kind of laughing about that. And then we were talking about this song that we're playing from Brandon Lake. It is Brandon Lake, Hard Fought Hallelujah. And he's talking about, I've been through hell and, going on. And I was really, I know there are Christian stations that aren't going to play that song, even though that's like an emotion, I've been through hell. But there are a lot of people that are like, well, we got kids that listen and, that could be bad. And, and to some degree, I was like, oh, I'm a little surprised maybe that we did play it. But I'm glad we did, actually, because it's like an adult emotion. Like, I've been through hell. But there's the antithesis of that is that's why I need Jesus, or I found Jesus as a result of that. And I thought that was really cool. And I was asking Gavin if they'd gotten any complaints, because in the past, I remember one time I said the word asinine on the show, a literal word that is in the dictionary, nothing to do. And this guy's like, you can't say that. I'm like, why can't I say that? Because it has asinine. I said it's asinine. It's the word. I said this conversation is asinine. And so back in the day when I first got here, people were really, really, I think, different. And maybe we ran the oversaved people off or not, but they used to take us to task for everything. Or they'd hear a song with Toby where they just thought he swore. And they're like, Toby swore. Like, no, Toby didn't swear. And so I was surprised. But you had a call from somebody today that was taking issue with something that I said on the show, too.
Yeah, she was referencing yesterday. So it's always interesting that, like, for her, she heard something yesterday, thought long and hard about it.
Marinated.
And then today, maybe she got busy. And then she called today because we did a break where we were talking about weird things that you can get flagged for by the TSA when you're flying. And we ended the break with you talking about being flagged for a 4-pound bag of gummy bears because they thought it looked like C4.
And that's what the lady, the TSA agent, told me. She's like, this reads like C4 in large quantities that could bring a few planes down, because I had like a 4-pound bag of it or whatever it was.
So to clarify, we were talking about gummy bears.
And I said that.
Which, if you're listening to like Way FM, you should have faith that we're talking about regular gummy bears. And this woman called and wanted to clarify whether or not you mentioned or talked about eating like CBD gummies or weed gummies on
so
air.
Good, man.
And spent some time cautioning me that we need to be careful about saying that, because that might be how some people interpret the phrase gummies, which for me, responding to that, I said, oh, well, I never have and never will mention that. That will never be something that Wally jumps into. That's not what happened. She's like, oh, you just want to be careful about how people interpret, or be careful. And I was like, I know, but we didn't, so we're good.
I get the thing about, like, you don't, there's a verse in the Bible that talks about not being a millstone around, you not causing someone to stumble, or you'll have a millstone thrown around your neck and put in the lake of fire. Like, and I understand that. Like, you got to be careful, but there's a point at which you then can't say anything, because somebody's going to take anything you say wrong, or as a double entendre or whatever, when you don't mean any of that, know? And so to me, Zach, who used to be on the show, used to always, when people would talk about stuff like that, he would quote the Bible verse, to the pure, all things are pure. Like, if you have a pure heart, you don't even think about that.
If you're the one interpreting us talking about gummies and you're like, oh, weed gummy? Like, if that is your reaction,
you might check yourself.
Then I don't, that has nothing to do with us.
Yeah, because like me, like there's sometimes where I talk about stuff like on the show, if I say something like, oh my gosh, I love Coke. So much I love Coke. And there's been times where I've been like Coca-Cola, and I shouldn't have to. Honestly, being here at Christian Radio, the baseline for our behavior and what we do should be, if I mention Coke, that I'm literally, and me loving it and having vast quantities of it in my system, should be Coca-Cola. That should be everyone's default on
and
that.
And if we're talking about gummies, think that we're talking about gummy bears, gummy worms, gummy... anything.
Welch's gummies, something like that. But yeah, it's just funny to me, the things that sometimes hit people. So there you go. Lady Rock, what do you got?
All right, so I'm going to start off with, because I have some pictures printed off for these. First off, I want to start with this story.
I don't even remember what we're doing.
Oh.
This one is about Walmart.
Okay. Oh, okay. Don't look at it yet.
Well, you can look at
Oh,
it.
I can?
Yeah,
Okay.
I want you to look at that. So what I've done is I've printed off the old logo and compare it to the new logo. Do you see a difference?
I do see the difference. The fonts are a little bit bigger, bolder. They're put together. The kerning space between them is smaller.
But it's like a slight difference.
It's weird because it feels like when you look at a logo, it invokes emotions and things like that. And like to me, it feels like home. The second one, the new one.
Okay, that's enough.
But it kind of looks like whenever you're getting your new glasses and they give you that little all right, left side.
Better one, better two.
Is what it looks like.
Well, Walmart is updating their logo, and it's the first time in 2 decades. Their last time was in 2008 when they dropped the star used to hyphenate the Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
And so this new logo, which is bolder and brighter, I guess.
Beautiful.
The higher up said, quote, "As our customers evolve, we will too. Our brand will always be a testament to how we innovate and change alongside them."
They're bold.
They're making such a strong statement over something where I'm like, you just changed the font.
Big strides.
Feels like notice us. And they shouldn't have to beg for our attention. It's Walmart.
And I would like to point out that this is not a logo. This is a word that has been typed in like a font that you can just get anywhere. Like there's no artistic anything to this.
Right. And they act like, they're like, for our customers, we put them first. I'm like, last time I went to Walmart, I couldn't tell who worked there and who didn't. Like, I don't know. But I will say this. I found an article that they claim that the prices for your basic essential items are the cheapest at Walmart.
Yeah.
That, in this environment, the prices of everything have gone up. But at Walmart, it's only increased by 0.7%.
There you go.
So,
did you say they changed the color?
Yes, you can't really see it in that photo that I sent, but I would say that the blue in the older logo was more dull, whereas the new one is a bit brighter.
I think things felt more vibrant in there. Like even when I walk into the store, I get a feeling now of home, and it makes me want to call my mom. I don't know why. It's just like just looking at this word makes me feel more connected to my family.
I saw a TikTok the other day where it showed this woman, and it was taken out of context because it was in a reality show or something, but she's walking through this really bad part of the neighborhood, and it says, "Me going into Walmart after I'm used to Target," or whatever, and it's her going, "I'm in the ghetto. I'm in the ghetto." Like, okay.
This makes me think that there's somebody who got paid a lot of money to go into Photoshop though and just go like click 2 buttons. Or maybe even just one.
Yeah, make it a little brighter,
just a little
make it a
kerning,
little bolder.
Make it bolder.
Jenkins, you genius.
What was that? There was another one too. Like there was a post that somebody did like on TikTok of this lady walking with her kid, and she's like, "Yeah, my kid just said we have to go to sad Walmart today, or like bad Walmart today," and then she pans the camera around and it's
the bad Target.
The bad Target, and it's and they're going into Walmart.
Yeah. I'm going to post the photo that I'm showing Wally and Gavin. I'll post it on our Facebook potty group.
Oh, cool.
So if you haven't joined the potty group, you should text the word potty, PODDIE, to 91979. Okay, I'm going to do another one. This is also about another company, Starbucks. So they used to have an open door policy, which is you could come in, you can work remotely, you can read books, and you don't even have to buy their coffee.
Sure.
Yeah.
For the record, I would never do that.
Yeah.
No,
I would never go into a place.
Just get a hot coffee.
Yeah,
I don't even have to drink it.
Yeah, I will never go into a place and just sit. If I'm going to go there, I will buy something. I had to kill time one time. I had to kill 2 hours when my daughter was on an audition somewhere, and I went, and the only store around was this bubble tea place. I'm not a bubble tea person. Like it's gross. But I found one little thing that I could at least buy, and I sat there on my Wi-Fi and doing some work, but I bought something, you know.
Yeah. Well, I guess, people are taking too advantage of it because they have now decided to have a new code of conduct. They will be closing doors to non-paying customers, and that includes their restrooms as well as their patios. They said, quote, "Our goal is to create a welcoming environment."
That's not welcoming. Welcoming is for everybody in numbskulls.
Well, it ain't welcoming. Yeah.
Our goal is to welcome everyone who's buying
It's
stuff.
like that Office episode where Toby is coming into the peaceful retreat that Michael's put together, and he's makes some comment, and Michael's like, this is an environment of welcome, and you need to get out. And that's so true with Starbucks.
Yeah, and it's interesting,
buy something or they don't want you there.
Because what they'll do, then they'll probably put locks on the doors, and you have to have a code. And when you go, yeah, I bet, like you'll go because they have to like regulate it somehow.
Yeah. Well, and two, you would think about like the employees that work at Starbucks. Now it's going to be their responsibility to kick people out.
I hope that's just a pure manager situation, because if you're just making Molly, who just showed up and this is her first job ever, and she's got to go tell some dude who's 6'3" that he can't just sit there.
And trust me, the first time it comes out that someone was kicked out of a Starbucks for not buying anything and just sitting there, it will be a race issue. I promise you that. Like, because I think someone will go in there with the hopes of getting kicked out to then make the content. Because that's what people do. They do things. They put
clout.
They do. Well, they do things to put people in awkward situations just so they can videotape it now and just so they can make a point of things.
You know, I'm glad that you're not young now.
Oh,
because you would have taken full advantage. You would have been all over TikTok doing all that kind of junk where you're just trying to get a rise out of people.
That was my whole first half of my career. The whole first half of my career in mainstream radio was every day try to annoy somebody, shock somebody, and it was like we didn't have cameras back then. We had hidden microphones, and we would send our stunt guy out to do things, and I went out and did things and stuff. I mean, I broke up an entire thing for the city of Atlanta, unveiling their whole new big plan, like their tourism stuff and things like that. And I literally got up on the middle of an 8-top round table in the middle of this press conference and was yelling all this stuff about how dumb the idea was. And then I started calling out people around me. I'm like, you, John from the Atlanta Journal, you said this was stupid too. And he's like, I did not. I'm like, yes, you did. We just pushed everybody's buttons. And I got to tell you, okay, some of it was funny when I look back on it. Most of it was exhausting. I came home exhausted every day.
Good.
And then I look back on it now. A bit came up the other day on my phone. I have an old air check from my old show, and it was Sebastian doing America's Ugliest Babies. And I couldn't listen to it.
Yeah, there's no winning
I couldn't listen to it because he would go up to women at a baby store and say, hey, I'm a reality show producer. We think your child would be great for this reality show. Are you interested? Can I tell you about America's Ugliest Babies?
That's terrible.
And it was so bad. He almost got beat up by one of the dads.
Yeah.
And he should have. I mean, he should have. That's the reaction. But I can't listen. I cannot listen to a lot of the things that I did back then.
That seems like growth.
It is. Thank you, Gavin.
Okay, what is this second image?
So speaking of other people that, like Wally back then, he needed a hobby. This person also needs a hobby.
Okay.
I don't want you looking at
this.
Is this
Starbucks?
Okay, I'm not going to look at it.
Once again, I will post these to our potty group. No, this is a different story.
Oh, we're just moving on.
I want to tell you first the story, and then I want you to look at the photos, okay? All right, first off, this is about a scam. A 53-year-old woman.
Oh, no.
She fell for a scam, okay?
Oh, these pictures.
$850,000 later. Okay. This person convinced her to divorce her husband, her millionaire husband, and then send the scam artist all the collateral money. $850,000.
Okay, how she had that money.
53 years old now.
She's 53. That's it.
Yeah, she's 53.
You expect this stuff to happen to like 70-year-olds.
I know. Well, this scam went on for a year and a half.
Oh no!
So it's a long time. Now
talent.
this woman currently, she's speaking out now, and she's like, I feel like I'm a victim. Why would anyone do this to me? I have never hurt anyone. She's being hospitalized for severe depression.
Oh, wow.
So this is the kind of impact these scammers can have on your life. Now, here's what the scam was that she fell for. She believed for a year and a half that she was speaking to the one and only Brad Pitt.
For the love.
Brad Pitt.
She did it
There
for the
is
love.
no celebrity.
Yeah, she really did.
Yeah, there's no celebrity that is ever going to reach out to you, contact you, and start a online relationship with you, A. And B, never going to do that and ask you for money or gift cards, things like that. It's
Brad Pitt is
I know.
fine.
Well, let me tell you some of the things that this scammer did. This scammer
man, this is gonna be hard.
Also created another person that was supposed to be Brad Pitt's mom.
Smart.
And that person told this woman, you're exactly the woman that my son needs right now, okay?
Oh, no.
This Brad Pitt, the scamming artist, he told her that he was in the hospital with kidney cancer,
That's an easy thing to look up.
I know that he has no money for the treatment because his bank account's frozen due to the divorce from Angelina Jolie.
That's a semi
The scammer even sent emails from a fake doctor claiming that Brad Pitt was fighting for his life and he needed this money to save his life. Now, on top of that, the scammer also went to AI.
How is this still going?
And asked for it to create photos that they could send to this woman. Now, when you look at these photos,
that's bad.
It's supposed to be Brad Pitt in a hospital bed, all these things, even holding a photo that has her name on it.
That's so smart.
Look at it.
That is so smart.
Would you fall for these?
The one on the bottom right is my favorite.
Oh my gosh. The one in the...
He's got different hair.
The one in the top middle looks like Brad Pitt, obviously, in a hospital bed.
The one on the
to me, they look so fake.
The one on the left, like the middle left, looks like Brad Pitt put on some weight.
But do you see where he's holding notes in some of them, like saying, I love you, so-and-so?
The Anne, I love you one, that one should have gone with the one in the upper middle because that looks the most like him. That one doesn't. But the one with him kind of there in the hospital bed in the back, it's not that far off. I might be like,
really?
Man, I love Brad
looked
Pitt.
at all of them, and I was like, who would fall for this?
I'm face blind, though.
And for a year and a half.
Yeah, see, but that's the thing.
Going through this?
Like, I have trouble telling people's faces. I saw a girl that I work with the other day out of work, and I'm like, wait, I think I know her. You know, like so it's hard. Like a lady in my Bible study and her daughter, they came to my house, like, when I was outside, and I'm like, okay, and I thought they were there for a garage sale, and it was, like, a lady I've known for years, but she had her hair in a ponytail. I didn't recognize her.
I wonder if that's an ADHD
I wonder.
issue.
I bet it is.
Let me look it up.
Please look it up.
When you say ADHD and
Face blind?
ADHD and
facial recognition.
Facial recognition.
Yeah.
Okay. People with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, often have difficulty recognizing facial expressions, especially negative emotions like anger, fear, and sadness. This can lead to social and emotional problems.
No, I just have trouble seeing people's faces.
Yeah, we need to do ADHD and
face blind.
Face blindness.
That happens so much to me.
Yes, face blindness, also known as prosopagnosia, can be a symptom of ADHD. People with ADHD may have difficulty recognizing and perceiving faces.
It explains so much. I've had it my whole life. I'm like, a character in a movie puts a hat on, and I can't tell it's the same character. I'm not making this up.
ADHD, am I right?
Am I right? That's pretty amazing. So you thought all of these looked fake?
Yes. Don't you think so, Gavin?
No, there's a handful that I'd be semi-convinced by, but
you'd lose $850,000 over it?
It just tells me something.
It is Brad Pitt.
It tells me that something maybe wasn't okay to start with this
maybe
woman,
so.
just from the get-go.
Yeah.
Because that's
the one where they're doing surgery on him, and instead of his head being laid flat on an operating table, it's like photoshopped in the back and like looking up. It's really funny.
The lighting is so bad.
Yeah,
I know. Bless her.
I mean,
you wonder where this woman's family was.
And then that's true. Okay, so she had a millionaire husband, and so then you're like, okay, are you neglected? Like, you're not getting love from him, so you start looking for anything outside that makes you feel, because women cheat emotionally typically first, is what they say, and so they need that emotion. Guys tend to be more physical, but it's like, it's so sad to me that somebody that would have, for lack of a better word, a nice life, you know,
everything the world tells you, you should
have, is still empty to the point where you fall for this at 53. Like 53, like, again.
And to divorce your husband over it.
70, 80, I get it. Everything gets murky, and especially online, and like, it's like you're just existing. A little excitement today, like, it's fine. I'll take a chance. But like 53, you're still young enough to know better, at that point.
I mean, that's only 3 years younger than you.
Exactly. And I would have known better. Okay, if it was Brad Pitt that reached out to me, I don't know. It was like, hey,
okay,
divorce your wife so we can be bros and hang out. I'm like, all right, man, I don't want to, but I mean, Marty's pretty cool, but this is like hanging out with Brad Pitt.
I really like your movies. I want you to stay alive.
Yeah, like we could we could like hang out and bro time and if we do extreme stuff, maybe I get in a movie. Definitely.
Poor lady. Hope everything goes well with the treatment.
No, I hope they get together.
Stop it.
I hope Brad Pitt reaches out to her.
What if she's right though? And it really is Brad Pitt.
He got all those.
It really is Brad Pitt.
Wow.
Is Brad Pitt really in the hospital?
Bless her heart.
Oh, she was French.
All right.
All right. Well, do you have any birthdays?
I don't.
All right. Well, then that's going to have to do it for our Aftercast. And as always, thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children. But with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.